Hello, hello. Well, it's a pretty sad morning considering I need to do a reading on gun control. You know, I could be sarcastic about Mitch McConnell. You know, did he really fall and break his shoulder or something? I'm getting conflicting information on that one. So, did it happen? Is he using this, well, even if it did happen, is he using this as an excuse? Because, well, that's a good feeling. That feels like hope. And hope that the Democrats are going to, if not now, as soon as possible, do something about gun control. Okay, that's a good place to start. Because literally, the top of the deck is, yeah. So, I'm trying to not despise Moscow Mitch, Massacre Mitch, with the heat of 1,000 suns, but it's difficult. It's difficult. But let's look at gun control. And really, mostly federal gun control, because if it's left up to the states, it's going to be it's going to vary wildly. And that's not good. I'm certainly not against states' rights, I'm just saying. Gun control. It is good to see people on the news really talking about this. Well, they certainly have the Democrats talking about it. What was it? Rachel Maddow the other night said that they invited 30 Republicans to come on the show and talk about gun control, and all 30 declined. And that, my friends, is the definition of cowardice. We're waiting for the next generation. We're waiting for the generation that's coming up. The young people who are so angry about climate change, about gun control, children who are growing up with active shooter drills, who are furious and fed up. In the past, gun lobby money. That's the crux of why we are where we are. Senator reading Pelosi. All right, that could be positive. Anything positive here, I'm going to be very happy to see it. Base of the reading. This feels like Republicans wanting to keep the status quo. And above it, basically we've got Pelosi in the middle. I get cups are usually Democrats and pentacles are usually Republicans. But with the exception of individual people like this is Nancy Pelosi. So you've got all this legislation that could be voted on but isn't, and the Democrats trying to find the way to work around McConnell or whomever to try to get something done on this. So it's trying to maneuver against the status quo. Near future. That does not bode well. Oh, but that is America overall, the national sentiment being very unhappy with the lack of progress. Very, very unhappy. It's actually kind of good to feel this. The energy is very, I mean, you can probably feel it. The energy is very do something. And instead of the anger just being, within some very messed up individuals, it's in the country to fight for what's right. Home environment, yeah, we're upset. Hopes and fears, hoping we can get something done. Something has to get better. What other people see? Yeah, it's a lone person using a sword as a weapon, using weapons, but this is also a metaphorical sort of truth. So it's almost both of the meanings. So it's the violence, us seeing the violence for what it is, that it's something we have to do something about. We have to solve this. This is a uniquely American problem. Final outcome, young people very upset. Building coalitions, building action groups. This is grassroots. All of this is all grassroots, all the way across. And having, even with the enthusiasm and the organizing, it's still a battle. Oh, okay. The other day I did a reading on, what was it? Will we be able to stop mass shootings? And one of the things that came up in that was the idea that, will we be able to stop mass shooting? And what came up was that we have to wait for, it's not time yet, we have to wait until the Democrats have more power, but I mean, I'm trying to see if there was something that could be done. As of when I'm recording this, Trump is talking about taking some kind of executive action to do nearly nothing. And anything he does would end up in the courts, and yeah. And he's probably not going to do it anyway. If he isn't going to stand up to white nationalism, white supremacists, he's certainly not going to stand up to the gun lobby. Gun rights activists. Alright, gun control, gun control. Right now our hands are tied. Thank you, Massacre Mitch. Thank you, Traitor Trump. The day's coming. All this energy feels so vibrant and young. Yeah, these are politically active. These are politically active young people. That's what this is. Versus the status quo. People trying to keep that sweet NRA rating and sweet blood money from the gun manufacturers. But all of this is so strongly the rise of young people organizing, young and activism. And yeah, when this younger generation comes of age, or gets out of their teens and their 20s, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I'm not seeing legislative anything here. Is there any legislative? Will there be any short-term legislative moves that are worth a darn? Well, it's people fighting for it. Those are good arguments. That's what that is. That's using a higher wisdom, protecting children. Get the message. This is messenger. It's like, get the message. We need to protect the kids. Lawmakers specifically Democratic lawmakers, trying to bring out emotions, point out the emotional nature of this, how important this is, how, all right, well, that's Democrats speaking out. But legislation that's actually worth something. And after this, I might just have to stop the reading because I'm not getting a whole lot of, no, nothing. What we have is this. We have hope for the future. That's what's coming. Short term. All right, this is how Trump sees himself. And so that's full delusion land. This is keeping the party going. And then this is just bleak. I mean, that's really legislative. This is a whole lot of bleak nothingness. But there's hope. There's hope. And what's happening now is just lighting the biggest fire underneath people young adults, really. It's lighting a fire underneath them I'll ask, but the GOP is going to regret, is what it feels like. But let's see. Is that what is happening? Is this? Just 3 off the top. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. And it goes around, comes around. But this is as the pendulum swings. This is as the pendulum swings. You know, back in the 80s, it was all Reagan and GOP and racism and greed is good. And the vice. And this is kind of what's been happening, where the Democrats have currently been fairly hamstrung. And even when Obama nominated someone for the Supreme Court, he chose Merrick Garland, who's not some extreme left-wing liberal. He's relatively middle of the road. But this whole Mitch McConnell, burn everything to the ground, burn the forest down to rake some leaves. It's fully swinging the other way. So that's what I am getting, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a standstill. I hope this changes. I will be happy if I'm wrong. As usual, I mean, if I come up with something negative, it's not about my ego. I just want things to be okay. I want you to be okay. Wherever you are, I want you to be okay. Alright, so hang in there. Alright? And thank you so much for watching. I'm very grateful. And thank you so much to my patrons. You're just the wonderful messages I'm getting. I'm so grateful. Hang in there. We will get through this. We will be okay in the long run.